Should Justin Fields start day one, play one? Let's talk about it, starting now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly, and we don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. Now, the fact that we're even talking about a rookie quarterback like this, I mean, let's just take that in for a second. Let's all just be, we've made it into the 21st century of football. The fact that we're even talking about this kid like this, let's just take all that in and enjoy it. But the question on the table that I've been seeing a lot of people ask, should Justin Fields start the season as the number one starter, as QB1, as the Chicago Bears so eloquently put it on Andy Dalton? And I think that there's a couple things that you got to look at when you break it down. Now, I was big on let him sit, let him develop, because we saw how things went with Mitch, right? I mean, I think that a lot of us agree that if you would put a competent quarterback in front of Mitch in the beginning, if Mitch had been allowed to learn, he might have been able to come out of the gate a little bit better, maybe reach a little bit higher potential. But in my opinion, cream will rise to the top. That's a whole nother story. We're not going back to that. We got Justin Fields. But I will say I've adjusted my thinking on that a little bit. You've probably seen in the recent vids, I've been more not indifferent. Indifferent is the wrong word. More agreeable to him coming in his first season. And I'll tell you why. I think you have to look at a couple things in this scenario. One, this is not Madden. You can't just rip people in, put people in because you feel like it. Matt Nagy also has to go out there and manage egos, has to go out there and manage people's personalities, has to go out there and manage people's attitudes, and all that stuff affects the team. And so telling Andy Dalton that he's the number one starter, and then the very first week you rip him out of there and be like, no, we got Justin Fields. We knew we were going to try and get him, and we got him, so you're done. That would kill not only the morale of Andy Dalton, which a lot of people probably don't care about, but your team sees that, your players see that, and they're like, yo, what is this dude doing? Like, he clearly don't care about his players like he says he does. He clearly doesn't care about this team like he says he does, because he's promising them things and then he's not following through on that promise. Now, I think that Andy Dalton also coming in could be a competent quarterback, especially with some protection, which the Chicago Bears just went out and got, especially at that left tackle position. So hopefully that young man pans out and turns into something good. They got Charles Leno Jr. out of there for you, Andy Dalton. But to me, I think with protection and with time, Andy Dalton's not a bad quarterback. By no means was anybody coming into the season saying the Bears are going 3-13, and if you were just mistaken, or you just felt despondent about the team and you wanted the Bears to go 3-13. There's no chance with Andy Dalton the Chicago Bears are going to go 3-13. At worst, they're going to win 7 games. But this is, as crazy as it sounds, this is a team, if the defense can kind of get it back together, wrapped around Sean Desai, and you protect Andy Dalton, that's going to win some games. You're not going to be in a top 5 pick spot. And so I think it's also based on, with Andy Dalton, is he being successful? Is he winning games? Is he continuously winning games? Now, I think if you start the season off, say 3-1, 2-2 even, Matt's probably not going to pull him based on what happened last season. You know what I'm saying? He's probably not going to pull him. He's probably going to roll with Andy Dalton, let him work through some of the issues. But if you get to the midway point of the season and you're working on a 4-4 season, a 4-5 season, then you might see a Justin Fields enter. But I think if Andy Dalton is being competent and winning games, and it's not the reason you're losing games, then we'll see Andy Dalton run out there probably for most of this season. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Justin Fields should be the starter on day one? I'll be down there talking with you in the comments as well. Now, the other thing you kind of have to take into account is with Justin Fields, is he ready? You know what I'm saying? Like I see the Mel Kiper Jr.'s of the world, or the Dan Orlovsky's of the world saying, hey, these reps are the most important things he can get right now. Real life reps, college or pro reps that he can go out there and get. The second he's able to understand this offense, he's going to be a better talent. So put him out there now, let him do what he has to do now, and allow him to play his game. And I don't disagree with any of that sentiment either. But to me, it's all about evaluation. And I think that the players will kind of tell you what's going on with that as well. So when you look at Justin Fields in practice, when you're looking at him, if he all of a sudden comes out in the beginning, in training camp, in the beginning of the season, and he literally looks like the way better quarterback, like he looks like he's getting the scheme, he's understanding everything that's going on. Like I said, they make all these players take this test when they come into the league, and Justin Fields graded like the highest ever. So everybody's like, he should understand this offense. If he comes in and the offense clicks, or at least he gets a good portion of it right off the bat, and he's able to play the game at a higher level than Andy Dalton, the players will let you know. The players will start looking at you, kind of side. Hey, look, we know what you promised Andy. Andy's okay. We're not saying he's terrible, but if we want to make the playoffs, if we want to be a playoff team, that's who we need. We need Justin Fields in the game. You have to go through that evaluation throughout the season. You have to go through that evaluation, of course, before the season. But to me, go through the evaluation. Don't just give somebody the job. Like this kid, it's okay for this to be a quarterback competition. I think the Bears were dumb for naming Andy Dalton QB1 off of the bat, because you didn't know what he was going to be coming into this season. You didn't know what player you were going to get. You were hoping you got Justin Fields, but you didn't know what player you were going to get. Now, I get that Matt Nagy probably absolutely wants to emulate what he saw in Kansas City with Pat Mahomes. Hey, let's throw this kid in here, put him behind Andy Dalton for a year, just like we put Pat Mahomes behind Alex Smith, and let's see what he has at the end of the season. So it's kind of playing both sides of the coin, you know what I'm saying? But I think at the end of everything, Andy Dalton will be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears to start the season, personally. And I think that that's probably the right call, not because I don't think that Justin Fields could be NFL ready. It's not that I don't think that he could have one of those, hey, look, Trevor Lawrence is ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He's QB1 down in Jacksonville. Joe Burrow was QB1 last season down in Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with that situation happening as well, but I just want the evaluation to be done. I want the competition to happen. I want to see Justin Fields on the field making plays, and so that Matt Nagy and the coaching staff and the players on that team have no choice but to say, hey, yo, that's QB1. That's QB1, to the point where it feels like you're holding him back for a season, like literally you're like holding him back for that year because you promised Andy this job, that there's no other option but to turn to him no matter what, even if you know what I'm saying. Like, show me that. If you show me that on the field, hey, put the kid on the field. You know what I'm saying? But as always, I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments below. Do you believe that Justin Fields should be QB1, day one, play one? I will be down there talking with you in the comments as well. As always, it is your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago sports content. Check the links here or check the links in the description below. Hey, yo, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.